The importance of practicing daily really depends from it has impacts on various aspects of ourselves. It really depends why we practice in the first place. Sometimes maybe we start to practice because we are attracted by the energy manifestations, and it's quite normal. I mean, it's okay. It's something that can happen, especially when we discover for the first time this kind of Nei Gong practices. They could be quite intriguing and quite impressive. So we focus only on that. We think that I'm going to start to practice and I'm going to do it every day till I achieve that kind of goal. And actually, it's quite disappointing to practice in that way because we practice with lots of expectation and we end up actually bringing lots of tension in the practice and we get stuck and the practice becomes a pain. That could be one scenario, no? That we start to practice because we want to do a Qi mission, we want to achieve a high level of energy. The other scenario could be that the practice could be a pain because the practice is a pain in the first place, in the sense that it's not easy to practice. It's not easy to practice every day. Life is challenging, and this is something that we do one part of the day. And life demands attention on many other aspects, and sometimes our psychology is influenced by the way our life goes, by the family, the wife, the kids, the relatives, the job, and all these kind of circumstances, which somehow they hinder our, threaten, I think it's the English word also, our willingness of doing this kind of work daily. So the idea of doing this unrewarding, apparently rewarding job, because it takes really time to grow into this path in terms of energy sensation, it's even supported by the fact that we have so many things to do that it's really a pain sometimes to sit and do the work for ourselves. So why I say that it is important to practice every day? First of all, because if we don't practice Nei Gong or I think anything serious daily, we're not going to have any result. This is a long-term kind of path, and I think the more we mature in terms of the way we see it, the more we have chance of understanding why we do it. Because as I said, maybe in the beginning the goal is just to achieve some kind of superpowers and be special and be mystical and escape from reality, all those kind of things. And that could be the initial starting point for some of us, but it's not going to take us too far unless we start to really understand what is the practice is about. Those Qi demonstration, external manifestations that you see are just things that will happen eventually in the journey, because when you do something right, eventually you reap the result of it. But at least for me, I think I don't feel I am anything special or anything like this, but I definitely feel that I function better in life, much more than before, with all the beauty and the rewards that you get for it. Because if you can express your potential, I don't even like to put it in this way, sounds like a marketing thing, but if you can be yourself more freely in this world, you're going to achieve more in anything that you do. And again, not to turn it into an achieving mindset, but it's just that you're going to flow with life a bit more easily and not in a very spiritually new agey way. It just makes sense. I guess the importance of the daily practice at some point will reveal a deeper connection with yourself in terms of alignment. And don't picture it as an intellectual connection with yourself, because that is something that actually we're trying to get rid of, this kind of constant talking in the mind. It's more a sense of being here now, which I know, again, it sounds like a cliche thing, but another way to put it, maybe it's to end the fragmentations that we have in our mind. Fragmentation, I mean, is the divided attention that we experience, the constant worrying about things, thinking about things. We never actually were fully relaxed. So one way of putting it maybe could be you just practice every day because you want to be relaxed. But it's not just that. Because with this relaxation and with this kind of technology really that we use, these Chinese people passed on, uh, we get to be open to this level of reality which is called vital energy, which probably was your interest in the very beginning, and it's going to be probably the reward at the very, not at the very end, but more and more the more you grow into it. Why I say this, because it takes time, and also having a good mind state, such as more mature, what I described, the second option, instead of just being focused on the energy sensations, will open up the body, will open up our ability of observing how the practice is working on ourselves, rather than practicing and trying to achieve a specific outcome or specific sensations because maybe we heard or we listen or we read in a Facebook mystical group that the yang and the yin, they will do this. Just forget about those things, because if you just stay open and you allow the practice, again with the long-term mindset to do the work, even your body and your mind will be in a better state than trying to achieve a sensation. Now, a common mistake that I even discussed, I think last week with my students, is that some of them, they complained, I thought I was doing very well, the sensations and everything. And then at some point, all the sensations, when I did the next level, all the sensation went away. How come? And I said, it's normal. I mean, sometimes you feel something, and then for a period of time, when you do a specific exercise, and then suddenly it goes away. And you think, oh, things are not working anymore. I reached the plateau, or even you think I'm going down. But the truth is, we don't have the wisdom, but let's put it in this way, to know if we are really growing or not. The only way is to keep moving. And of course, if you practice for years and things like this and nothing is really changing, change the system, change your teacher, change what you're doing. But if you're doing something, maybe you have, for a few months, you have some sensations when you do an exercise, and then maybe things disappear. Don't be worried that you're not moving, because maybe all of a sudden in the following week you start to have a new sensation, or you actually comprehend by direct experience something about the functioning of this layer of reality called energy, whatever you want to call it. Call it energy, it's the right word actually. And then you step to the next step. So, or you don't have, like I don't feel I even have the full picture. I do have the full picture in terms of the Nei Gong system, of everything that we do. But we don't have the full picture to evaluate ourselves in terms of progress, especially in the beginning, because in the beginning of the journey, things are so unstable in terms of sensations and achievements that really takes time, even years, to start to have steady sensations. And at some point, when you practice anything that you do, the state, the quality of the sensation is pretty much the same. But and you keep, of course, strengthening your energy level, balancing the three intensity. This is what happens at the end of the path. But before, you don't have that kind of, we don't have that kind of knowledge to evaluate ourselves. So my suggestion, and I even said this to my students this week, is to just choose one path. And can be this, Nei Gong, can be, there are other paths available, other things to do. Choose one. Don't mix things, and don't think that you can do the wise job of deciding which exercises to do and what to do, because that's quite pretentious actually. I don't even feel that I know much about it after 9 years almost of practicing every day. And I will never dare to change anything in terms of practices, because it took, I don't know how many generations of refinement in terms of each teacher in each generation maybe refining one aspect, but nobody, I think, came up with something entirely new. That's my point of view. So if you feel in a position, maybe you're doing the spiritual shopping, and which, not pointing you the finger, I'm just saying you from the heart really what I think it could be another option to try. uh, don't do this mix and match things, and don't try to evaluate your progress based on your sensations. If you have sensations, report them to your teacher, whether it is me or another teacher of another path, and trust it, and put it into test for a certain number of time, but don't expect to, too quickly in 2 months to reach whatever level, And then after that, you finish the old system. That system took me up to that point, and then you can change and you can say, oh, okay, now I want to try that thing. Let's see where it takes me. Or maybe you're happy with the first one. You're already, let's say, achieving the goals that you put yourself in mind. So the importance of practicing every day and being patient relies on the fact that we have to mature. And when we mature, the reason why we practice in the first place, even the practice mature, and even more subtle aspect of the practice, they come into perception. And as human beings, we have the chance really to improve a little bit our mess and to become better functioning human beings in this world, with all the beauty that comes with it from having a nice internal life that is going to reflect on the external world as well.